Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears the white trunks with the blue lettering. He tipped the scale 17 stone, 11 pounds, 4 ounces. He fights out of Mariehamn, Finland. His professional record, 32 victories, 4 defeats, with 21 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBC Silver and IBF Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion and the reigning WBA Gold Heavyweight titleist, known as the Nordic Nightmare, Robert Helenius. Helenius. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the white trunks and scales 17 stone, 12 pounds, bang on. His professional record, 25 victories, 3 defeats, with 22 of his 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Proudly fighting out of and representing his home of Watford, England, here is the 2012 Olympic gold medalist and the former 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, AJ Anthony Joshua.
So Anthony Joshua just having that full-length red robe removed by his corner team. Derek James, his shaven-headed trainer, working with that Anthony Joshua for the second fight in succession, just giving him some final instructions. He takes on a swig of water, and now he and Robert Helenius make their way to centre ring for the final
guys,
instructions.
you've had your instructions. Remember, obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. God bless. Touch gloves. Let's do it.
Well, when Lennox Lewis defended his world heavyweight title against the 6'7" Michael Grant, boxing impresario Don King dubbed it too big. 13 feet and 500 pounds of fight, and that tagline certainly appropriate here, as the 6'6" Anthony Joshua faces off against the 6'7" Robert Helenius. And we are underway. Heavyweight boxing here on BBC Radio 5 Live. We're at the O2 Arena, round 1 scheduled for 12. And Helenius, the slightly taller man, his shaven head, a white tunic trimmed with blue, out aggressively to centre ring. Anthony Joshua in red trunks trimmed with white on the back foot, fires a speculative right hand which missed by some distance, and it's both men with hands that are around their pecs. Anthony Joshua just putting his guard up around his chin, right hand goes beneath his left elbow, scoring shots from Robert Helenius. And now the action in centre ring, a rather ponderous looking right hand lead by Anthony Joshua, not setting it up with the lead left hand, and the two men on top of the logo. Right hand does find the bearded chin of Robert Helenius from Anthony Joshua, who's peering between high held gloves. Robert Helenius confidently dropping his hands while out of range, takes this long jab to the body from Anthony Joshua, who's on the back foot, approaching figure 12 on the far side of the boxing ring, figure 12 on the clock face. If you consider our commentary position is at figure 5 on the clock face. Anthony Joshua reaches and lands with a right hand, then follows up with a left jab, and it's Helenius dominating centre ring at present, dipping at the knees, bouncing up and down in front of Anthony Joshua. Nice head movement to the left from Anthony Joshua to cause that left jab from Helenius to go over his right shoulder. And then he came back with a counter left jab of his own. There Anthony Joshua leading off with a jab. Helenius tried the same shot. Both men were inaccurate. Approaching the halfway stage of the opening round. Long looping left hook fired by Anthony Joshua was off the mark. Double left jab tried to head and body from Robert Helenius. Both of them blocked by the right glove, parried by the right glove of the former 2-time champion. Minute 20 remaining. Right hand was caught by the left glove of Anthony Joshua as Robert Helenius went looking for that hammer of Thor that he possesses. And the two men bobbing and weaving in front of one another. Exchange of jabs. A jab to the head from Helenius, jab to the body from Anthony Joshua. Joshua dipping at the knees now. There he steps through and lands with a right hand lead which tags Robert Helenius on his chin, but Helenius showing good composure. Both men on flat feet. Not the explosive start from either boxer, not the explosive start as that Helenius tried against Deontay Wilder, only to wind up getting knocked out in the first round. and it looks as though Anthony Joshua isn't going in search of a first round stoppage. Both boxers patient. Double left jab from Anthony Joshua out centre ring. The second jab did get through on an upward trajectory. Robert Helenius just edging backwards towards our commentary position, tried to employ the layback to make Anthony Joshua miss with the left. Anthony Joshua then followed with the right. The counter right hand from Helenius was off the mark. Helenius with a wide-eyed look as he takes another left jab from Anthony Joshua. Joshua then drops down with a jab to the body. Helenius hands down by his belt line before putting them up, not really around his head, but they're up parallel to either side of his head. There's a big boulevard of opportunity between those gloves, but Anthony Joshua parrying the left jab with his right glove once again. Said that he never learned defense under his previous coaching regime, and he's blocking shots effectively with his right glove in this opening round. 10-second clapper has sounded. Helenius jabbing from out of reach, drops his hands once again, feinting with the right hand, doesn't pull the trigger, and then just stares at Anthony Joshua as the two men make their way back after a rather busy opening round.
Yeah, a lot of movement, a lot of foot movement. I thought Joshua was using some good footwork there, and he was picking shots, blocking shots, doing it nicely, moving his shoulders and showing head work. Lovely, all of that. That's not why we're here tonight. Sorry, let's be a bit more brutal. Okay, we're not here to see Anthony Joshua throw a jab, feint with a jab and move his feet. We're here to see Anthony Joshua go for his front foot, land a big left and let a big right hand go. George, that was a nice opening round. Surely we're going to see a bit more, and we're going to see it soon.
Yeah, no, I mean, Joshua won the round, but he looked a little bit more nervous, a little bit stiff, you know, and he's been guilty of that in the past. Threw a couple of right hands, but lost his right leg in the process. Had a bit more commitment with the jab, but I think Helenius probably finished that round thinking, I didn't get caught with nothing. A couple more rounds of this, and it might be in full flow.
So into the second round we go. These men sparred up at the English Institute of Sport in Sheffield, the base under the tutelage of Robert McCracken, where the GB team prepare for Olympic Games and international tournaments all over the world. Anthony Joshua began his professional career up there, and it was in preparation for Vladimir Klitschko that Robert Helenius was brought in, and they did a series of 8-round sparring sessions. How many tells, how many secrets will have been picked up during those sparring sessions all that time ago? Both different fighters now, of course, as Helenius scores with a good left jab to the head. Anthony Joshua responds with a good left jab to the body. Joshua on the logo at centre ring, just being forced backwards by the incremental forward movement of Robert Helenius. Joshua peering between his gloves, moving laterally to his left in a clockwise direction, and again responding to every feint that is being proffered by Robert Helenius, looking to be defensively sharp and responsible. Long left hook just glanced the right glove of Helenius and caught him on his chin on the way through, but that partial block did take some of the pop off it. Speculative left jab from Anthony Joshua doesn't get through, and the two men standing within punching range. Helenius tries a jab to the body. It's knocked down by the palm of Anthony Joshua's right glove, as Anthony Joshua, continuing to move to his left in clockwise fashion, could be walking onto the vaunted backhand of Robert Helenius. That's the best shot in his armoury, but again, scoring effectively behind a point-scoring jab is Anthony Joshua. Helenius feinting by bobbing and weaving to his left, but not really letting his hands go. It's almost as though he's trying to play counter-puncher. There he scores with the left jab to the sternum, approaching figure 1 on the clock face on the far side of the boxing ring. Helenius shaking that right glove, and there's a beautiful corkscrew left hand landed by Helenius. That springs Joshua into life, and he comes back with 2 jabs of his own. The second one was a hard, stiff shot, pistoned out from the shoulder, and then a left jab to the body, followed by a right hand over the top. At figure 9 on the clock face, Victor Loughlin separates the two because Robert Helenius clung him tightly just to allow his head to clear from that 2-shot salvo that he was subjected to. The boxer's back beneath the ring lights, in directly at centre ring, scoring left jab twice in quick succession. As he went for a third jab, Helenius couldn't find a range, but the first 2 jabs were point-scoring punches that snapped the head back of Anthony Joshua. Helenius backing up voluntarily toward the ropes, directly across my commentary position at figure 12 on the clock face. And now Helenius edging forward once again, and this is shaping up to be a very good-looking boxing match, as Helenius slams in a right hand to the body with his palm turned upwards to the ring lights, came back with a left jab as well, and again shaping up to be a nice boxing contest. But there's a good scoring jab from Anthony Joshua, but again, given what Deontay Wilder, one of the biggest punches in the history of the heavyweight division, did to Robert Helenius, and given the knockout percentage that Anthony Joshua possesses at 79%, I don't think the capacity crowd have come to see an exhibition of the sweet science. They want to see it backed up by some heavy leather from both boxers, and that has been in short supply thus far. But plenty of skill in evidence as the bell sounds to end round number 2.
Hey, I like that jab when he stepped forward and he showed a little pause and he landed on the right hand, good, causing Helenius to clam up and cover, so I think it clearly hurt him. I won't say it shook him, it clearly hurt it, he clearly felt it. Joshua's moving really well. I think his foot works well. I think he's moving his head, he's dipping his shoulders, and he's blocked half a dozen shots. That's all good, and I think he will step on it. You know, he said he wasn't going to walk out in the first couple of rounds, George. He said he was going to work into it. I mean, one more round like that, and by round 4, he'll start to get a bit closer. Because Helenius will, you know, listen, he's enjoying. He's not struggling, Helenius, but he doesn't want to try and win too hard. Because when you win too hard, what happens, George? You get hit on the chin, son.
Yeah, definitely do.
I mean that nicely.
No, yeah, it's better flow from Joshua in that round. Helenius still a little bit, I mean, he's aggressive, he's got aggressive flow. Joshua needs to back him up. We saw Derek James in the corner tend to step out to his left and let his right hand go.
So, Robert Helenius, the first man off his stall to answer the bell for round number 3. The action just above our commentary position, approaching the periphery of the boxing ring. And it's Anthony Joshua tightening up his guard around his chin. Left jab to the body is a scoring shot. Helenius just approaching his own red corner, now moving to his left. There's a solid left jab. That score sends a shower of spray from the shaven head of the Nordic Nightmare. Joshua going body hunting once again with that lead left hand. And it's Helenius now momentarily up onto his toes, just approaching the blue corner before edging back towards centre ring. His chin's way up in the air like a weather vane, and he was just jabbed on it once again by Anthony Joshua, who's presenting an altogether more compact figure, even though there's only 1 inch difference in height. Anthony Joshua 6'6" to the 6'7" of Helenius. Beautiful counter left jab from Anthony Joshua, making Helenius miss and coming back with a scoring shot of his own. Helenius looking for that left jab, and there he scores with a reverse 1-2. Right hand was off the mark. The looping left got through from Helenius, but it's Anthony Joshua just looking to turn the screw and apply more pressure here now, but then he's just discouraged in that regard by taking a stiff left jab to the body from Helenius. Anthony Joshua back with his boxing stance beneath him, backing up Robert Helenius. The figure 12 on the clock face, on the ropes on the far side of the ring, takes a good straight shot to the body, does Helenius, catapults off the strands and is edging back towards centre ring once again. Left jab to the body attempted by Helenius, again battered down by the right glove of Anthony Joshua, as Helenius just prancing now, kangarooing around the ring as he's moving to his left. Now he's on flat feet once again, jabbed towards figure 10 on the clock face, approaching the blue corner. Anthony Joshua, the aggressor with his presence and with his positioning in the ring, but he's not really letting his hands go. Everything is a single shot. There he blocks a left jab with his right glove before scoring with a left jab to the body, and you can hear what the capacity crowd here at the O2 Arena think about it. Right hand was tried, it was off the mark from Joshua. The left hook was blocked by the right glove of Helenius as Anthony Joshua was off the mark. Good 2-shot salvo to the body from the Nordic Nightmare. Looping left hand followed by a roundhouse right to the left flank of Anthony Joshua. Minute to go in this third round. Scoring left jab once again. It's Anthony Joshua who is piling up the points with a piston-like left jab. Robert Helenius said that he wouldn't have taken this assignment to the right hand. Crashes home from Anthony Joshua and stiffens the legs of Robert Helenius. He was just above the ring, right directly above our commentary position. Now he's moving to his left, but he's only backed over to the neutral corner on this near side of the ring. Then he gets back to centre ring, takes another left jab from Anthony Joshua, but Anthony Joshua planting his feet into the canvas and bowling in an overhand right, which tagged Helenius on his chin, and it certainly got his attention. His chin came up, his legs stiffened, but Joshua, well, he wasn't able to follow up with an effective offensive burst. 10-second clapper sounds. Beautiful corkscrew jab on an upward trajectory from Anthony Joshua, landed at centre ring. Robert Helenius, wide-eyed and concentrated, trying to impose himself with his presence, but he's really not presenting any threat with his punches. Good round from Anthony Joshua. The best shot of the fight landed with that overhand right.
And it clearly hurt him, and maybe Helenius is feeling it a little bit more. Bit of urgency from Joshua. But I tell you what, Ronald, wasn't sure I'd come here tonight to hear a crowd booing in the third round. I can see why they're booing, don't worry about that. What I do love, George, before I throw to you, is the punches that Derek James throws in the corner. He throws punches that Floyd Mayweather would struggle to put together in the ring. No disrespect. George, thoughts on that round?
Yeah, a better round again for Joshua. The best punch of the fight so far landed. Helenius did look hurt from that. He stumbled back, but then he got his feet back under him. And Joshua didn't really look to press it or push it on him. I know it's only the third round. He's probably thinking the shot will come again. It was a great right hand. He goes through the target, just clipped Helenius' chin. and he's probably still aware of where he is. He's not totally gone in the fight. His arms come out, sort of giving that extra layer of defence. But he definitely don't want to take any more punches like that.
So into the 4th round we go. The noble art of self-defense has a long, rich history of late substitutes stepping in and making a name for themselves. Smoking Burt Cooper took on Evander Holyfield at 6 days' notice after Francesco Damiani pulled out. Rocked Holyfield in the 3rd before being stopped in the 7th. Vitaly Klitschko was a late sub for the Canadian Kirk Johnson. He gave Lennox a really hard fight in what proved to be Lennox's final fight of his career. But perhaps none can top the fact that Tommy Morrison fought an opponent out of the crowd when he took on Tim Tomaszek, and then understandably, invariably destroyed him in a round. This substitute coming in at a week's notice. There he tries a speculative left uppercut at centre ring, does Helenius. He's breathing through a mouth that's slightly open now. Remember, he was in the ring a week ago. He got the undefeated compatriot out of there, but it was the first. Oh, there's a strong right hand once again, with Helenius leaning way back over the top rope, and then he used the tension of the strand to catapult himself back to centre ring and embrace Anthony Joshua in a bear hug. Now there's distance between the two once again. Is Helenius posing and shaping, looking to press Anthony Joshua, but it's almost as though he's shaping to throw what Mickey Duff used to call don't hit me punches, because he's there seemingly to be hit in range, but he's not really committing to the left jab that he's just thrown on that occasion. Anthony Joshua keeping his shape nicely. Long left hook fired by Joshua was off the mark by some distance. And it's Helenius in punching range once again, drops his hands down to his knees, then gets them back to the on guard position, but again, not really protecting anything. His hands wide and away from his head, away from his chin. Now he's edging forwards once again, looking to pin Anthony Joshua towards the ropes at figure 3 on the clock face. Again, if you consider that our commentary position is at figure 5. Anthony Joshua with good footwork to spin away from the confined position of the ropes and back to centre ring. Good right hand to the body, dug in beneath the left elbow on a straight downward trajectory from Helenius, but then Joshua comes back with an exchange of jabs. The jab from Joshua landing at mid-range, it was with a bent arm, and it jolted Helenius' head back, but then Helenius comes back with a stiff left hand of his own. Right hand driven into just beneath the heart from Joshua, then he drops it down to the liver, lower on the same side of Helenius' left flank, but Helenius flicking out a jab, but he's made to pay by taking a piston-like left jab from Anthony Joshua that again jolted his head backwards. Helenius comes back with a jab to the body. Joshua counters with the same shot. The two men in centre ring. Helenius just backing up towards the commentary position on this near side of the ring. Then he gets over his front foot and he's looking to pin Anthony Joshua to the ropes at figure 9 on the clock face. Anthony Joshua moving off to his left. Just a little bit of a mouse perhaps developing beneath the left eye of Anthony Joshua. It's closing and that could render him unsighted. Beautiful up jab from Anthony Joshua of a corkscrew variety. Wonderfully nuanced use of the lead left hand. But we'll keep an eye on that left optic of Anthony Joshua because it appears to be swelling, and the swelling worsening almost by the second. So the 4th round in the book. And again, Steve Bunch, your thoughts on that stanza?
AJ steadily putting pressure on, steadily getting closer, getting his body in a position to let his hands go, and that's obviously coinciding with the fact that Helenius is starting to look a little bit tired now. His nose is running, his nose is bleeding. He's getting caught with far more shots. He's throwing fewer shots. I've got a feeling, George, that he's earning his money and he might be getting close to the end for Mr. Helenius.
Yeah, I think you might be right there, Steve. He had a little bit of success landing the jab, but there's no commitment from it. There's no weight in the shot, and you've got to have weight in the shot in boxing, especially heavyweight boxing. Joshua, on the other hand, his shots do have weight in them. He's never been the fastest guy, so he's not necessarily there to catch you on the counter, but when he presses behind the jab and lands that right hand, I think that's where he's having the most success so far in this fight.
And that's going to be the final shot. Left, pulls, big right hand.
So into the 5th round then, both boxers out to the middle of the boxing ring, and it's Anthony Joshua getting over that front foot. Robert Helenius moving laterally to his left to ensure that he doesn't wind up in the corner. Nice spin move employed by both boxers to turn the tables. It's Anthony Joshua with his back to us now. Helenius is back skimming the ropes on the far side of the ring between figure 12 and figure 1. Again, if you consider our position is at figure 5 on the clock face. Anthony Joshua looking to quicken his feet now, and he's stalking Robert Helenius, pinning him to the ropes just above our commentary position. Beautiful left hand to the body. body, right hand to the head, and Helenius' knees visibly dipped, but he was able to get off the ropes back to the space of center ring, pushed off Anthony Joshua and increased the distance between them once again. Helenius jabbing before tapping Anthony Joshua with a left hand. Joshua coming forwards once again behind a left-right combination. The right hand got through, and Robert Helenius' legs appear to have gone soft. It's as though they've been deboned, and now every shot that he's being touched with, to head, body or shoulder, well, it's having a pronounced effect on his balance, and Anthony Joshua must have that sense, if we can glean it here from ringside, that his man could well be there for the taking with a sustained assault. There's a trace of red on the left cheek of Anthony Joshua. I think he's sustained nose damage. Robert Helenius breathing through an open mouth, his movements becoming rather more labored now. And again, his balance doesn't appear good because he's trying to come forward. He lands a left-right combination. The right hand threatened to strain to rabbit punch territory by going around the rear of Joshua's head. And then a two-shot success once again. And Helenius fighting through the fatigue, scoring with a left jab. Anthony Joshua breathing through an open mouth. Big left hook wound up by Robert Helenius. Oh, beautiful left jab by Helenius. Snaps the head back of Anthony Joshua with the two men at center ring. Both men feeling the pace just beyond the midpoint of this fifth round. Solid left jab pistoned out by Anthony Joshua. Then a left jab to the body. The roundhouse right to the body came by second-class post and was easily evaded by Helenius, but a clumping right hand landing from the former two-time champion. Referee Victor Loughlin separates the two men after they momentarily found themselves bound in a clinch. And a left jab landing from Helenius once again. Anthony Joshua bending at the waist. He scores with a left jab to the body after he took a left jab upstairs from Helenius. And Helenius' movements, they're slowing. He's breathing through an open mouth. But it's as though when he's in this rather precarious looking position, he's been the most dangerous he's been all contest. There he scores with a left jab. Roundhouse right blocked by the left glove of Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, definite trace of blood coming from his nose. Left hook from Anthony Joshua causes Helenius to totter because their legs got tangled up. He was on one foot momentarily. That's why the crowd increased their decibel level here at the O2 Arena. But now he's got his boxing stance back beneath him. And as the 10-second clapper sounds, it's Anthony Joshua just getting himself away from the ropes. Back to the middle, left jab to the head. Right hand landed beneath the armpit of Robert Helenius from Anthony Joshua. And it's Anthony Joshua who ends the round with a double jab. Both boxers wearily walking back to their respective corners, breathing through open mouths, and both of them with damaged noses as well.
That was a terrific round. A round that we didn't expect to see. None of us thought we'd see a round like that. I'm amazed how marked up Joshua is. He's got that mouse under his right eye. It looks to me like his left eye's a bit swollen high up, and he's got it, and his nose is bleeding, and he's breathing heavy. Helenius doesn't have that much left in the tank. I'm going to ask the question now before it ends. George, what would happen if Helenius had 6 weeks training?
You can't be the hypotheticals and everything, box.
But I'm throwing it at you, George. You don't have to answer it. You can bounce it back at me.
But I think in that round, Helenius caught Joshua just above his left ear. It was a loopy right hand that came over. It had a slight effect and definitely gave Helenius a bit of confidence. He let his hands go a lot more in that round. He's got his arms up now, waiting for the bell to ring.
And again, despite it's the most torrid round of the contest in that fifth round, Helenius making a point of being the first man to rise once again, as if to say to Anthony Joshua, well, I might be breathing through an open mouth, but I'm ready to go. How are you feeling? And it's an action-packed start to this round. Both men exchanging jabs. Helenius with the final jab to the body of Anthony Joshua. Double jab from Joshua. Head, then body. And now Anthony Joshua on the front foot. Left jab, left hook was off the mark. The left hook was off the mark, but then he followed up with another stab jab to the body of Robert Helenius. And then just giving an indication as to how fatigued they are. Both men held their arms out like latter-day George Foreman impersonators, but no punches were thrown as they looked to prevent the other man from punching. 50 seconds gone in this sixth round, and it's Joshua busier with his lead hand. Helenius moving to his left. It's Anthony Joshua looking for a left-right combination. Follows up the attack, making it a two-phase attack by scoring with a left jab to the body. Helenius, after his good portion of success in the fifth round, less aggressive, but there he comes back with a double jab. The right hand was ponderously slow, and it was caught by the left glove of Anthony Joshua. But make no mistake, Anthony Joshua appears to be feeling the pace as well. Both boxers breathing through mouths that are wide open. Robert Helenius trying to get some dynamism into his footwork. Reverse 1-2, right hand, then left hand from Helenius. The left hand did get through as it was speared down on a steep trajectory. Helenius, his mouth wide open, his chin up in the air. Now he tucks his chin down onto his chest, and the two men at center ring shaping left jab, left hook from Anthony Joshua. Left hook was off the mark, then he scored to the left jab to the body. And again, both men showing that they know their way around the boxing ring, but they haven't really found the range with any significant sustained assaults. Left jab from Robert Helenius was a more eye-catching shot during that exchange of straight punches. And Helenius appears to be feeling the pace desperately. His mouth hanging wide open, his gum shield visible. Launches a reverse 1-2, right cross, left jab. The left jab got through. Joshua comes back with a left jab of his own. And again, the two boxers locked in the center of the boxing ring, not going to the perimeter, not looking to get to the outer reaches of the roped arena. Left jab to the body, right hand over the top from Joshua, and the force of that effort seemed to back up Helenius towards the ropes. And now Helenius retreating to the blue corner. This may be his last roll of the dice, because physically I'm not sure that Robert Helenius has very much left. He must be fighting on fumes, because he's finding it very difficult to move and punch. He's doing one or the other, either moving or punching, but he can't do both at the same time. And increasingly that's making him a static target, a sitting duck for Anthony Joshua's punches. Can he capitalize? He's looking a little bit cautious, not as circumspect as he was against Jermaine Franklin, but he's not putting combinations together. Remember his rant after the second fight against Usyk, when he said he's 18 stone, so can't throw in combination fashion. He's using a lot of singles right now. Let's head over to the 2021 Olympic bronze medalist Fraser Clark and get his perspective on this contest.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a bit of a strange one, to be honest. You know, I'm not seeing enough aggression from Anthony Joshua here. A lot of single shots, single attacks. I think he's making Helenius look better than he is, and I think he really is there for the taking. He's going to take some aggression and, you know, go forward. Don't give this guy any respect. This is heavyweight boxing, and, you know, we all know at any one time this can be over in 1 second. So if I was Anthony Joshua now, I'd put my foot on the gas. This guy's ready for the taking. Take him out.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Put your foot on the gas and take him out, Ronald. Come on, AJ, listen to Fraser, listen to Big Fraser.
Round 7.
Well, we're going to the second half of the fight, which has been an unusual encounter so far, in that both boxers, remember Anthony Joshua 250 pounds, Robert Helenius 249.4 pounds, two big heavyweights, with Helenius at 6'7", Anthony Joshua at 6'6", and it's Anthony Joshua who's the busier boxer to begin this second half of the contest, scoring with the jab, but Helenius scored with a single jab of his own. But again, we have to emphasize that Helenius appears to be struggling physically. He's in the invidious position of having to choose as to whether to punch or defend himself with either his legs or his hands. There he tries to come forward with a left jab to the body by pushing off his back foot. There he takes a left jab to the body and right hand over the top. And again, the bruise from the right hand of Anthony Joshua caused him to totter towards the neutral corner on his near side of the ring. Then, taking in big lungfuls of oxygen, he almost staggers in reverse gear towards the blue corner. Anthony Joshua lands a left hook. Helenius claimed his man. Referee Victor Loughlin separated them, and physically Helenius appears to have absolutely nothing left to give. He's taken two left jabs from Anthony Joshua, whose face is swelling as though a kid has been playing with modeling clay. He's got a swelling beneath his left eye, his lips are puffy, he's bleeding from his nose, and it's a physical fight given how few clean punches have been landed. There Helenius lands a right hand with the inside of his glove onto the left ear of Anthony Joshua. The action is in the middle of the boxing ring. Scoring left jab to the body once again from Joshua, and a right hand has landed on the chin of Robert Helenius and deposited him on the canvas. Referee Victor Loughlin did not bother to administer a count, and it's a single shot KO from Anthony Joshua.